I know what I'm going to show you now works on Samsung phones. I don't know if it works on other Android phones or not. You'll have to try it, but it's kind of cool. It lets you test your phone and all the features. I figured before last video, before Christmas, we just have some fun. I'll show you a test mode that some of you may or may not know exists for Android phones. This is a Samsung, but I'm sure it works on others too. If I unlock my phone and I go into telephone mode, if I enter the code *#0*#, it puts the phone into a test mode. Now this is kind of neat because I can test all the sensors of the phone, and this is an S9, so it's a loaded phone. It's got lots of cool features. First, I can test the screen. I can bring up a fully red screen. I can bring up a fully green screen so you can see all the burn-in from all the icons on the OLED screen, because OLED screens are notorious for burning. And I can also bring up a fully blue screen so we can see the damage on the blue screen as well. I can test the earpiece, the receiver. And I can test for vibration. I can test the Mega Cam, which is the megapixel camera on the front. Oh, look, a Sony Beta machine is still sitting on my bench under test. That's the one I fixed the other day. It's still here. I haven't sent it out yet. I'm still testing it. It's been testing for the last couple days. In fact, I just turned it off. And I can just take a picture with this, and it will take a picture and test the camera. And then I can get out of here. And if I press the back key here, I should be able to get out of it. There we go. I can test the sensor. This is kind of cool, because this tells me everything that this phone's got. And if I go and get my other phone, well, I could go get my work phone and I'll show you the difference, because it has different features than this one. So let me grab my work phone and we'll bring that up and I'll show you the difference on it. So this one's an S10e. As you can see, it's not as old and the screen appears to be in a little bit better shape. Red looks about the same. I got a screen protector on this one, so it makes it a little bit darker. Green, well, not as much burn on this one as on this one. But then again, this phone is quite old. I've had this phone for, I guess, about 6 years. Blue, same thing. Here's where we get, the receiver does the same. And vibration. Mega Cam, same. Here's where we get a little bit different. Sensor. This one brings up, well, as you can see, there's different sensors on these. This one's got a proximity sensor. This one does not. What's a proximity sensor? What's one of these sensors in the front? So when you put the phone up to your face, it's telling me that the proximity sensor is working. This one doesn't have that, you see. This one's got a gyro. It's got a barometer sensor, which this one also has. This one's got light sensors. This one's got a gyroscope sensor, as does this one, but this one's got light sensor, so it tells me the amount of light that's hitting the light sensor on the front here, which is one of these sensors on the front. Where's the lux sensor? There it is there. Light sensor's right here. You see? I can cover it up. You'll see the lux sensor now down to 400 lux. Or if I turn on a flashlight, for example, and shine a flashlight on here, well, it's going to go... Oh, 64,000, so we can figure out where the sensor is. It's right in here. Anyway, that's our light sensor. Got a barometer sensor, gyroscope sensor. Well, they both have a gyroscope. Magnetic sensor. Both of them have a magnetic sensor as well. It's got an HRM sensor. Oh, you know what? That's a heart rate monitor. That's what that is. So if I don't know if it's going to come on if I put my finger on there or not, but that's the heart rate monitor, because this phone's got a heart rate monitor on it. And a fingerprint sensor, which that's what this has got here. So that's the sensor page. Touchscreen. Both of them have the same. It's the same here. Touchscreen. This is where you're supposed to trace over the X and try to trace your finger over it to make everything light up all the way around the screen. I'm not very good at that. I could never color within the lines. And you actually have to fill them all in, I believe, before you can exit this screen. And you can write on here as well. If you're going to sign something now, I got to get out of this screen. How do I get out of this screen? There we go. Got to get that last corner, and then I can back out of here. I must have missed something here. I got to get all the green squares. If I miss any of the green squares, then I can't get out of there. Speaker. That was the speaker. Different music. Okay. So that's the speaker here, and the speaker in the bottom. And both speakers. Same with this other one. Again. Both speakers, bottom speaker, and top speaker. And that should shut it off. Okay. Sub key. That tests your volume and other buttons by changing the screen color every time you press an external button. And soft keys at the bottom of the screen. We did the touch screen. Front camera, that turns on the front camera here, which is going to take a picture. Again, both of them do the same. Front camera. Got to take a picture on here in order for it to get out of there. A black just gives you a black screen. LED on this one, well, it turns the LED red, green, blue, and end. So it tests the color of the LED. Hall IC. They both have a Hall IC. Barcode emulator, we'll get into that one in a minute. Hall IC is, both of the phones have a Hall effect sensor in them. And that's a magnetic sensor. And what that's for is, if you've got a case, like an OtterBox or some case that has a magnetic sensor, when you clip it to your belt, it needs to detect where the magnets are. And there's two sensors on the phone, depending on the phone. So this one here's got one here and down here. And it just tells you that it passes. And the same with this one. And it works on the front or the back. If I hold it at the back, it'll also pass. That's the Hall effect sensor. There's a magnet on the back of this. Right? It only does it once, too. Once you've passed the test. MST test. I'm not quite sure what that one does, but I'm sure it sends something out. It sends some data out. Don't know exactly what it does. This one does the same. It just sends out data. You can send it track one once or one time, or continuous. But I don't know quite what that is. Maybe someone else knows what that one is. MLC. Again, I don't know what that one is for. It does the same. It just puts a, obviously there's a test for something for that. And loop back. Not going to bother with that one. The other one on here is iris camera test. There's another camera on here, which is an infrared camera. It's right over about here. And that's for scanning your iris. And when you turn that one on, it shows you what is that camera will detect. And I don't know if you're going to see it on camera or not, but it you can see it. Maybe my hand just showed up there. Iris camera test. There, you can see my hand. And that's to scan your irises. It's going off because there's no iris there to detect. If you turn it on, you'll see the light up here. That's the infrared emitter for the iris camera. And you can see stuff in here. If I turn on the night shot on my camera, we'll see this blasting out infrared because it is super, super bright. Okay, now we're in night shot mode. If I hit the iris camera test, you can see how bright that is. You actually see two come on first. You see the first one come on, which is that one, and then the bright one comes on. But you see there's two that actually flash, shining right through my thumb. But that's not all. That's not all. While we're in infrared mode, there's a barcode emulator, which this phone doesn't do. Barcode emulator. Okay, what do we want to look at? I have to have this camera in infrared mode so you can see what it actually does. If I click on barcode and I click start, it is now emulating a barcode for a scanner. And this is what should show up on a barcode reader. That's what should show up on it. A barcode scanner is either going to scan this or it's going to pick up the infrared signal. And it can emulate many different types of barcodes. So if I click back here, if I want to do this one here, start, same thing, it's just different format. Stop, right? Code bar, same thing. So I don't need to go through them all, but that's kind of a neat feature that this phone has that this one doesn't. So when you pay all that money for a premium smartphone, you're getting a bunch of extra bells and whistles on the phone. This one here is not a premium phone. It's an S10, but again, I think it's the S10e or whatever it was. Someone can probably correct me on that. I haven't pulled it out of its case. This is the phone I broke the first day I got it. When I was taking it to the store to get the OtterBox for it, and I had it in my pocket, and I got out of my car, and I crushed the phone between my leg and the door jamb, and I broke the glass back. But this back has been off already once because I had to poke a hole in the battery and let all the gas out of it that puffed up within the first month. It's still fine, but the battery itself actually puffed up on this phone. This one still looks perfect, and it's an old phone that I've had forever, and I've never had any issues with it. If I pull this one out of its case, get out of this test here. If I pull this one out of the case, this is probably the best condition Samsung S9 you are ever going to see. It looks like it just came out of the box. Other than the screen protector that's on it, that's starting to lift a bit here. This is a great old phone, and that's why I keep using this great old phone. That's why I bought a new battery for it for 23 bucks. I just can't give it up. I have another one. I have an S20 FE sitting in the box that's never been even opened yet, and I'm not using it. I'm continuing to use the S9 because I think this is a better phone. It's got every feature on it that I could need, and I keep using it for that reason. Anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video to wish everybody Merry Christmas, and we will talk to you in the next couple days. I'm going to take a day off tomorrow, and then we'll be back at it. We'll talk to you later.